Have you ever heard this question? Why should God punish Adam and Eve when they didn't know anything? The question hangs in the air like a challenge in a courtroom. Picture a voice rising from the crowd. How can you blame them? They didn't know good from evil. They were innocent. Like babies. Isn't punishment unfair? It sounds reasonable, almost compassionate. But now the scene shifts. Scene 1. The garden. Adam and Eve stand in a world without fear, without death, without shame. No sickness, no lies, no trauma. Just clarity and peace. And one instruction. Not a list, not a law book, not a moral philosophy lecture. Just this: do not eat from that tree. Simple, direct, personal. Now listen closely to something people often miss. When the serpent approaches Eve, he asks, "Did God really say, you must not eat from any tree?" Eve answers immediately, "We may eat from the trees, but not from this one. God said we must not eat it or touch it, or we will die." Pause there. She didn't say, "What's wrong with it?" She didn't say, "We don't understand." She didn't say, "We didn't know." She knew the boundary. They didn't know good and evil, but they knew right and wrong here. That's the heart of it. They didn't yet possess moral independence, the experience of evil, guilt, shame, moral struggle. That's what the knowledge of good and evil represents. Stepping into the role of deciding morality for themselves, but knowing right from wrong, that they had. How do we know? Because they could repeat the command. They could identify the forbidden action. They could choose obedience or disobedience. You don't need a philosophy degree to know, don't cross this line. You only need trust. Let us use the father and the child analogy. Imagine a father holding his toddler's hand near a busy road. He kneels down, looks the child in the eye, and says, "Do not run into the street." The child doesn't understand traffic laws, velocity, spinal trauma, or emergency rooms. They don't understand why. But they understand Daddy said no. Now suppose the child pulls away, runs into the street anyway. The father grabs them back, heart pounding, and scolds them sharply. Maybe there are consequences, loss of a privilege, or stern discipline. Is the father cruel? No, he's teaching something deeper than traffic science. He's teaching trust and obedience to protection. Even when you don't grasp the reason. Disobedience isn't dangerous because of the rule. It's dangerous because of the relationship broken. Back to the garden. Adam and Eve's act wasn't just fruit eating. It was a decision that said, "We will decide for ourselves. We don't need to trust you." That's why the consequence wasn't random anger. It was separation, the natural result of choosing independence from the very source of life. They didn't sin out of ignorance of the command. They sinned by ignoring the command. The real tragedy. They reached for knowledge thinking it would make them greater. Instead, they learned shame, fear, hiding, and blame. The very things they had never known before. So the question isn't really, why punish them when they didn't know anything? The deeper question is, what happens when trust is broken, even in innocence? Because innocence doesn't remove responsibility to obey a clear, loving boundary. Just like the child in the street and just like us, every time we choose our will over wisdom. And that's the drama of Eden, not a story of unfair punishment. But the moment humanity chose knowledge without trust, and discovered a world it was never meant to carry alone. These are Olufemi's thoughts on this. Share, follow, and comment.